god, I've got the item right in focus, right in front of you from the get-go. I must be trying something different. Or at least trying not to waste so much time as I normally would with some long rambling intro that goes nowhere and does nothing. Alright, in case you can't figure it out for yourself, in case English isn't your first language, or you just can't read in general, this is a micro toweling, aka a travel towel, from the Mountain Warehouse. Antibacterial, treated for odour prevention, that's good of them. And just to prove that it's from them, well, apparently, this is their label that I've taken off the actual thingamajigger. £5.99, Mountain Warehouse. You're guaranteed that this is a genuine product and not just something I've, randomly fabricated myself. Not that I would, because I don't know how, but yes, Mountain Warehouse. You're guaranteed that that's actually a real shop. Other shops are available, but they didn't have what I wanted. So what exactly is the idea here? Well, this is basically meant, I'll just do the obligatory move everything around so you can get different views. This is basically meant for people who are travelling, hence the name, travel towel. But it's also meant to help dry you out a bit faster, and it's supposed to also dry itself a bit faster. And that's because it's got all these microfibre type thingamajiggers here. Ooh, look, we've got the instructions already. Distributed by Mountain Warehouse Limited. I'm not going to read out the address. All the various different, very boring instructions on how to actually wash it and clean it properly. Anyhow, if you were going, say, camping for example, then you could take this into the shower block with you, dry yourself out. After you've had your shower, of course, unless you're one of these people who don't believe in actually showering. And then leave this over your car bonnet while you go and do something else, or possibly just hang it off a car door, or off a guy rope if you're camping, or if you've actually gone the whole hog and gone caravanning, then you can just sort of hang this out the window of the caravan, and the wind or air in general just sort of allow it to dry off that little bit faster. Now that does feel a bit on the rough side. It is not quite the same level of roughness on either side. That does feel just a bit rougher than that does, although I'll allow you to decide for yourself. That does feel like it would have an ever so mild sandpapering effect, to be brutally honest, but I've never actually used one of these for this sort of thing before, for drying myself off, but I have got something rather similar that's meant for dusting. Obviously it's in duster style shape and size and whatever, but I've never felt like trying to dry myself with a duster. Never been that desperate. But there's only really one way to test this out, probably to see if it does its job. Are you ready for the horror that is my shower? Yeah, you might want to close your eyes.
Oh, sweet mystery of life, at last I found you. At last I know the meaning of it all. The feeling, cut. I should be so lucky. I should be so lucky.
Do you please? You will.
Feeling, cut. What happened to the hot water? Well, that's a bit disappointing. I should have looked at the instructions a bit closer. That is the dimension, so this is more like a, towel for the head rather than the full body. Oh well. They did have bigger ones, but I suppose it'll have to do. Let's see what it does. Well, it seems to be doing something. Okay, so far I've managed to dry off my right. I was going to say I've dried off my right arm, but that would be a lie because I've actually dried off my left arm. And most of my head. Head's still going a little slowly. I'm now starting on the right arm. I've dried off the neck already. Let's just see. What does this actually look like now? I've just thought, can the camera even see this? The answer is no, not from the amount of steam that I can see on the I should have thought this through a bit. Okay, jump cut time. Okay, I think this is probably about as much nudity as I can possibly get away with on YouTube. One arm, yes, that's mine. My left arm, my dry left arm. So just to give you an idea, I'll just move this back a bit. That is one side, and that's the other. And as you can see, some bits look drier than the others. It does actually do quite a good job of drying you off quite quickly. As it's more as a sort of head towel type thing than anything else, it's
possibly not the best choice for what I'm trying to do, which is basically the full body. Right now I'm busy with the legs and certain other parts that you don't really want to know about. But in general, yes, everything is feeling a lot drier. That's the back, done already. In general terms though, the two sides, the slightly rougher side that I've got here, seems to do the better job overall of drying out than this bit does. So it might just be a case of use this side for drying, and this side effectively for polishing. Oh no, wait, that's when you've taken the shit. Oh well. I'm not perfectly dry at this point, but given I've been drying myself off since the moment I unsteamed the camera lens, let's just give that another shot with a dry bit that haven't been used. I swear. Yeah, it's amazing how much a room like a bathroom can steam up so much from one shower. It was only about 5 minutes. Oh well, I think we can actually call it quite a success as far as actually drying me off is concerned, because I'm not perfectly bone dry, but I am quite dry. I think what I shall do next, just to try to help clear this steam up, is open my window. Okay, so I think this is possibly about as much as I can really get away with. More so than one arm, it's 2 arms and a good bit of the torso. So yes, my nipples are effectively going to do the talking for you. No, they're not. They are not going to do the talking for you. My hands could do the talking. No, I'm not going to do that because that looks absolutely ridiculous. Alright, my mouth will do the talking, and of course the microphone will pick that up. Assuming of course I've turned the damn thing on, which I have. I've got to say, from what I can see, this was purely a mistake on my part by picking up the wrong size towel. I should have gone with one of the larger ones instead of one of the mid-sized ones. But I suppose if you were going, say, camping or something like that, you know, spaces are premium if you're camping in a tent, for example, then this is probably going to do you just fine, because it will obviously dry out quite nicely. I'm just going to leave that as is. Then again, yeah, I'll just show you that. That is the maximum amount of length we have here in this regard. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. We'll know more obviously once I've let it dry out a bit, but what the heck? Another jump cut? Yeah, another jump cut. See you soon. Alright, so I am going to show you how the towel has fared after about 2 weeks worth of use. So this is basically a hand towel. Okay, that's all it is. You can't see the entire length of it. I've got it hanging along the railings there. And I can't get it lit any better than it is because unfortunately it's a bit of a lousy day for weather outside. There have been better days, but unfortunately the one day I could actually spare some time filming, it was absolutely wet and miserable. Typical. Anyhow, so this is a hand towel and I have been using it for about 2 weeks now. Every morning it has been what I've been using to dry myself off with. And because it's only a hand towel, it therefore has certain limits. So, is it effective in what it does? To a certain degree, yes. It's done a good job of drying my head and my hair, what hair there is, and my arms, and then after that it sort of is too damp to really use properly, but I can still sort of make use of it to dry my body off to a certain degree. At that point, if I then wrap it around my legs, I can sort of wander into my bedroom out of the bathroom, and by that point I can use it to sort of rub myself dry in other places. Don't think about that too much. Please don't think about that too much. And after that, given the rest of the time that it takes to get my clothes together, then I'm pretty much as dry as I'm going to get. But in most cases I'm still having to finish myself off. Please don't think about that with a regular towel. So it's been 2 weeks and I thought, well, it isn't really what it's meant to be designed for. It's meant to be a hand towel more than anything else. But at the same time, I would have thought that given the roughness of the fibres, especially on this side, okay, this is the rougher side, this is the smoother side, you'd have thought the rougher side would basically have done a better job of drying you off, and it does, but not quite to the degree I think it's meant for. But I'm trying to use this for the whole body,
So as a hand towel, it probably does work quite well. As an extended use for the hand and head, then yeah, after that it's sort of is a little too wet to actually use practically, but I think in general terms I get a better quality dryness from a regular towel. And that's after leaving it to hang on a radiator for an entire day as well, you know, getting heated up from that. That doesn't seem to do too good either. And if the idea here is to leave this pretty much as I have it now in front of a window, or you know, draped over the back of your car seat or over the back of your rear shelf in your car, getting baked by the sun, it's still not actually feasible to my mind. So what am I going to do next? Well, it seems to me, given that this is only a hand towel, it's not really fair to use this as assurance that this is horrible uselessness from the entire range. No, I need something more accurate, I suppose. I need a bigger towel. I need a bigger towel. So here I have basically the microfiber travel towel covering 150 centimeters by 85 centimeters. This is the big boy. And again, it comes in a similar travel pack, but not quite the same. And I'm just sort of wondering, is it really meant to be reused in the same sort of regards? I also got myself this handy little torch, which I've just dropped on the floor. Kind of disproves any grip quality that they might have, but on the other hand, it is damn bright, so I'll just blind you like that. Yes, that'll make you forget what I was telling you. And I think that just made the autofocus go crazy, so I've just gave it a few seconds to relax. But yeah, here we have the travel towel, same company, same people, antibacterial. Treated for odour prevention, so yeah, you basically, I'll just take the receipts out like that. Basically, you're just supposed to get it out of this section here, which makes me wonder, if this is truly supposed to be reusable, how the hell are you supposed to get it back in here? Getting it out is one thing, but getting it back in is going to be something of a nightmare, I think. Anyhow, it's not quite the same. It is still microfiber, but it's a much smoother look and feel, so I might have picked up the wrong thing altogether here, but this was literally the only size and colour. I'll rephrase that. This was take 52. This was the only colour in this particular size, so this is literally the full size thing. This is what you do your body with, and then wrap around, and then try not to get arrested if you are actually on a campsite and nothing but a towel. Yes, I imagine that would raise some, raise some eyebrows, especially if in a nudist camp or something like that, where I don't think you'd really be expected to be wearing anything like this. So yeah, I probably should have paid more attention instead of just grabbing based on size and stats and stuff like that. Oh well, yeah, so you can instantly see the size difference. In fact, if I do this, and just off camera try measuring everything up a bit. In the meantime, here's some music. Da di da di da di da da di da 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 di da 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 di da di da da di da da di da da da. And there you can see roughly what the top bit looks like. It is just a bit big in that regard. And then if I do this, you can kind of sort of get an idea of what the dimensions are like. And then if I do this, as I can't actually see the camera, you can sort of get a rough idea of what the rest of the dimensions are like. In fact, I'll just stand in front of the window and hope that this is working. In fact, boo. There we go, I think that's enough of that. What I really need to do now is test it out.
Oh, if I was a dry man, never, ever, 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 ever would have done. It could never be broken at all. Oh my God, a spider!
Alright. One towel, 2 towels. Let's see how good this is. Oh, bloody hell. Can you see me over there? Probably not. Alright, I think I'm going to have to do something about the air quality in here, because I like my showers steamy, as you can probably tell. Be back in a sec. Okay, so, as you can see, I have tried both of the towels out now. And they have very different looks and very different feels, even though they're supposed to be the same sort of stuff. This one, as I've said before, has a sort of rough quality to it, a sort of rough feel on both sides, one side being rougher than the other. And you would think that that roughness would sort of make it easier to dry things. And to a certain degree it does when you use the rougher side, but not when you use the smoother side. I'm not quite sure if that's an intention of the design or just a result of the design. I don't really know. This one, on the other hand, the material feels very different. It looks very smooth, and when you have it against your skin, just wrapped around you, for example, it feels very different. This has a sort of ever so slight itch quality to it because of what it is, because of the microfibre sort of rubbing into you. This, on the other hand, it doesn't have that. It just sort of feels more like it's like a canvas material, even though this isn't canvas. It also feels like it's going to sort of be something that you could pull on and, you know, sort of, you know, have it expand and rip maybe, but it's actually very strong material, okay? And it doesn't actually, despite what it feels like, it doesn't actually do that. You just get the feeling that this could be very taut if you want it to be taut. And the best thing that I've noticed, okay, is that as far as getting wet is concerned, it doesn't really show the wetness much, and it doesn't feel actually wet either. This is something I think in general could actually be a lot more successful than this. So, as this is literally the maiden use of this towel, I'm probably going to have to give this at least another week's testing to get a really good feel of it. Although I'll be brutally honest, neither feels uncomfortable or discomfort in any way. Mind you might want to know I'm completely naked here.
Which is why the hedgehog can never be buggered at all. Which is why the hedgehog can never